The following episode may, and most likely does, contain spoilers, foul language, and my Netflix password. Viewer discretion is advised. Welcome back, everyone, to week 3 of our Nintendo Deep Dive. I am your host, not Mike.
And I am not Pat.
And today, there's only one way to really introduce this, and I hope you're ready for it.
Is it?
And that, my friend, is the GameCube opening, which is probably the greatest thing since, the PS2's
Like that sound?
Yeah. That sound. But like the GameCube, just the brick rolling in a circle to make the G. Someone retired off of that idea.
Oh, yeah. I gotta point out just quickly though, like nothing gives me like more of like a sound boner though, because like this is GameCube is when I made the switch, right? Like after the N64 that we discussed earlier.
Correct.
Going from the N64 to the GameCube era, that's when I switched from the over, because like my a family friend gave me the PlayStation 1, and then like Dad introduced me to Final Fantasy 7. Actually, I got introduced 8, then 7, then 9, and then that steamier on the blah blah, and then PlayStation 2. PlayStation 2 came out around the same time the GameCube came out, so I chose the PS2. So like for me, someone who grew up on the PlayStation 1, the sound that gets me like such a visual like stimulus boner is the sound of like that sound.
Oh,
because like when you hear that sound at first, you're just like, okay, and then like the screen would go white, and it would be like that twinkling sound, right? Mm-hmm. That's how you knew the game was going to work, right? So you would get that zoom sound, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like if you didn't get the twinkling like sound afterwards,
you're like, fuck, I'm about to go to the menu screen and have to eject the disc and then
clean it off and try it again.
Oh my god, you know what I just realized?
Right.
We have entered the generation where we are no longer blowing in cartridges.
Yeah.
We have moved over to CDs.
Now we moved over to the 5,000 different like online remedies that we heard about fixing CDs, right? This is like the
put toothpaste on it, put peanut butter on it,
my God.
I don't know, ejaculate on it.
Yeah, it's just just try all of your bodily fluids.
If it's a sticky substance, put it on there. It'll fix
work.
It.
It'll fill in the scratch so the scratch doesn't show. This is also when like they had like every game store at the checkout like had disc repair kits.
Yeah,
like they were just
like the disc repair kits and the like the eyeglass wipes.
Yes,
like the little tiny little napkins.
Oh man, but the GameCube era,
it's amazing.
Oh yeah,
the GameCube era is amazing. First off, let's just talk about the design of the GameCube.
Yes.
Because Nintendo is fully diving into the fact that this is a party console.
Right.
And you're going to want to bring it with you to hang out with your friends. So let's slap a big-ass handle on the back.
Man. It had a handle on it. They knew. They were like, yeah, 4 ports, let's do this stuff,
We're just going in hard, man. Hard.
Jeez.
Anyway, okay, so let's start this off the way we need to start this off. We're going to bring up titles that have carried through since the beginning.
Yeah.
We might as well. There's a Mario game on here.
There's
obviously. There's a couple.
Super Mario Sunshine.
Mamma mia. But what I'm most excited for is a little known side character. Mario finally got his own debut game.
Finally.
Fucking Luigi's Mansion.
The worst part about this is like that's how much of a side character he. Oh no, I put it on there. All right. He's on there. I forgot to write him.
For everyone who's wondering why we're pointing, it's because we're fucking idiots and we wrote all these names down on a board so we can try and remember them.
We have to have some kind of visual stimulation, like to kind of keep us on track. Because if not,
you've heard our ramblings.
Yeah, we just go on tangents.
I mean, this is a Nintendo episode, and within 3 seconds, Mike is talking about Sony PlayStation.
Yeah, exactly.
And actually, that's been every episode.
Yeah, I love
even the NES when PlayStation wasn't out.
Yeah, right.
We started it.
At some point, you said I have to admit, like there was a switch.
There was a switch, and there's going to be a switch in like a couple more episodes. Right. But Luigi's Mansion. Luigi's Mansion is one of the better games that I've played, and I've mentioned this before in the podcast. So the GameCube is still reeling on the external memory tail end of consoles. We need a memory card to save game data for the GameCube. And when I first bought the GameCube, I did not buy a memory card.
No.
But I got Super Smash Brothers Melee, and I got Luigi's Mansion, and I think I got one of the Tony Hawk Pro Skaters, and I didn't have a memory card, so all of this was just playing the game, turning it off, and restarting it the next game.
Oh my god, I would hate myself.
It was horrible.
Oh man,
it was horrible. But you know, when did this even come out? GameCube was 2001. We found that out last week, and so I'm 11 at this point. I don't have $40 of expendable income to just blow on a memory
your
card.
Parents already bought you a system, and in their mind, they're like, "This is it. This is the last thing." Right?
Yeah.
Some of the games like worth talking about for me personally on the GameCube. I touched on it with you guys earlier. Was the Resident Evil 0, which was a GameCube exclusive game. It didn't come out for the PS2. Didn't come out for the PS1. It's one of the reasons why it eventually led me to buy the GameCube, but not the reason. Because I had a friend of mine who had the GameCube because he liked Melee, which we got to
right. Melee is obviously going to be touched on.
We'll come back to that one. But I literally I got it for Resident Evil 0 and Resident Evil 4.
Okay.
And there was those two games, the obvious games, and then Mario Sunshine and Luigi's Mansion.
You know, I'm not even going to lie. When the GameCube came out, I think I just bought the GameCube just because it was the new system. I don't think I bought it for like any game in specific. But the game that I played the most on the GameCube was a random game probably no one's really heard of, but it was Yu-Gi-Oh! Falsebound Kingdom.
Yeah, you literally you yelled that at me to write it down. You're like, Falsebound Kingdom, and I'm just like,
so
all right.
This game
takes back a little bit.
Takes Yu-Gi-Oh! Characters, okay, and it's the same Yu-Gi-Oh! Dynamic that's introduced into every single video game. So you got the main players, they get sucked into a digital world of like olden times, Egypt and shit like that.
Okay.
And they're playing through, and it's not a card game, but it's a 3 versus 3.
RPG, right?
Yeah, it's like Final Fantasy. It's 3 versus 3. You have different attacks you can use and shit like that. Yeah, probably.
I love RPGs. I might have to play this game.
And do you love Yu-Gi-Oh?
I do love Yu-Gi-Oh.
Do you love Harpy's Fairy Lady?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's the uncensored version. And all they do is just sit there and float up and down with all the mechanics.
Not only... All right, hold up.
Here's why that 12-year-old Pat played this game.
I just got to point this out real quick before you go into this. So, my co-host here...
Yeah, hi.
...is sitting here telling me about this, right? He's like, you just witnessed him explaining this to me, right?
Producer, you
and
better
my
cut this.
producer literally leans across from behind the laptop to look behind around the laptop to go,
yes, sir.
And I'm just sitting here, like, as you're looking at me, I just see that out of the corner of my eye.
So happy we have this connection.
So, damn, that sounds awesome. I love role playing games. It's honestly one of the reasons why I skipped the GameCube, because they're really like. All right, I hear you complaining, and I know you guys are already yelling at me before I say these words.
Calm down. Let the man talk.
Calm down.
Let him talk.
Yes, I do know there are fantastic RPGs on the GameCube. I know that, but I did not know that because a lot of the role-playing games that were like super popular on the GameCube didn't have the world round notification that some of the RPGs that were coming out on the PlayStation did. Yeah, it did. Fire Emblem, yes, I know you're big, right? I know you're big. Tales of Symphonia, yes, I know you're big. I came to you later in life. Now, they did not have, and you can scream at me all you want, they did not have the cult following they had in the States that Final Fantasy and Dragon Quest did here in the States, right? Yes, they did. And now I see them, right? Now Fire Emblem's everywhere. I see you now, but you weren't seen back then.
You are now invited to Thanksgiving dinner.
Batten Kaitos was a big RPG. Fire Emblem was a big RPG. Tales of Symphonia came out for the GameCube, which was like a big one. Also, the main character was voiced by the guy who does the voice of Robin in Teen Titans.
No shit.
So, but it's like the same voice, like he doesn't change. So like it's literally like just hearing Robin like as the hero.
Oh my god! Please tell me he tells someone to roll out.
Probably. I'd believe it. I need to like actually play through the game again. They just re-released it on the Xbox Series X, but I'll get to it.
I mean, what else do we even got? We got some weird one-offs. So we got Crazy Taxi. That was kind of a thing, which is, you know, hand in hand with Simpsons Hit and Run. It's the same exact game except one of them has the Simpsons. And ooh.
I gotta give you a fact. Did you know that during the development of Simpsons Hit and Run, because like you are outside of the car, right? You can walk around, right?
Correct.
When Matt Groening came to look at it, right? So there's a kick function, right? Like you can kick things as a character, right? When they gave Matt Groening the game, it was like the demo, so he was Homer, right? Like I didn't play all of the game. I don't know if you can play as other characters. I'm pretty sure you can, but it was Homer, and he the very first thing he did, because you could kick a bunch of things, kick trash cans and all that stuff. The very first thing that Matt Groening did was he ran over and see if he could kick Marge.
No shit.
Yeah, that was the very first thing he did when he found out there was a kick function. He ran over to see if he could kick Marge, which you can.
Now
that was the very first. That was the very first thing he went. He was like, "Oh," and I'm like, "That is a man who let his intrusive thoughts win." Like he was like, "I wonder." Like, GameCube is also where we got Beautiful Joe.
Yes, beautiful,
so good.
I never played the game, but the art,
the art is fantastic.
My God, the art, so fucking good.
It's also WarioWare.
Never played that.
WarioWare is fantastic. I love it. It's a bunch of mini games, a bunch of really stupid, dumb, fun mini games. Like the one on the Wii was my favorite, and I'll touch on that when we do our Wii episode, because that was the way you played that game was so much fun. What else? You had Pikmin 1 and 2.
Yep. I can bring it up now. I mentioned it in an earlier episode, but Star Fox had a fun game.
Yes.
Which I forgot about until just this moment, so I never looked up its name. But you were Star Fox, and you went to a world that is like a prehistoric kind of world. Yeah, it was
a prehistoric, like you got marooned there.
You got marooned there, so you don't have like your fighter jet or your gun or anything like that, but you do have a staff that I believe has like magic.
Yeah.
And you meet this other fox girl who is also... It is Crystal. Okay, so you do know what game I'm talking about. And I believe she's magic as well. Yes. And that's actually more of like an RPG, like Prince of Persia type game. And it, coming from someone who never played any of the other Star Fox, is that Star Fox Adventures?
Star Fox Adventures.
God, that's so basic.
Yeah.
It's going to just go out and get like a Starbucks.
Yeah. So Star Fox Adventures.
Oh my God, basic bitches are basically just Starbucks or Star Fox.
Yeah,
because you got Star Fox to Starbucks, then they wear the UGG boots, which are just kind of like furry boots, which match Star Fox's feet.
So
they wear the same vest as Star Fox. Same leather pants as Star Fox.
Oh my God. We just realized that.
You heard it here first, folks.
Star Fox is a basic bitch.
Yeah, Star Fox is a basic bitch.
He is.
Most casual players of the GameCube will notice that if you turn it upside down and you take off that fun cover plate on the bottom, there's like 17,000 ports on there. And most people never use that.
Yeah.
Never use that. But there were so many adapters that you could put on there. Like there was literally an adapter you could plug into the bottom that let you play Game Boy Advance games.
Yes.
There was a screen, like a little 6-inch screen that was the same exact dimensions as the GameCube, so whatever that dimension was, it was just a screen you attach to the top.
Probably about 6 inches.
Probably about 6 inches.
Yeah.
But you could plug that onto the top, plug it right into the back of the GameCube. It would feed off of the same power thing, and you had to buy a battery pack to go with it too.
Yeah.
Because once again, this is the console you take places. Like that's what the GameCube is. The console you take places.
Yeah.
So you had the battery pack with the screen adapter that sits on top. What else did we have? We had the best controllers ever designed.
Yep.
Like to this day, Nintendo still goes back to the GameCube controllers because it doesn't get better.
No, the way I almost said it, but the Wavebird, the only way to actually play the GameCube.
Right, like this is the era where wireless is just starting to kick off.
It's funny because Sony also had a wireless controller, and it was garbage. It was a garbage controller. The only good controller was just the DualShock 2, which is the basic controller.
Right.
But yeah, the Wavebird was just so good. Like, I remember this is around the time that I was working at Game Crazy, like towards the end of the GameCube era, going into the Wii era. I remember we had a Melee tournament, and one of the guys that was competing in it, he played, and he had the unfortunateness of having to use a Mad Catz controller.
Oh no!
Which are garbage. And he lost, and he was so butthurt about it because he was like, if I was playing on the blah 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 controller, I would have won. And it's like, yeah, dude, you definitely would have won, right? He was actually like very skilled, very peak skilled at this game, right? He won like competitions, but like, this is a local game store tournament. He was the only other. It was him and one other adult that was in the tournament. It was just a bunch of kids. And I'm like, I'm glad you two got knocked out because you got garbage controllers.
So I'm glad you were talking about this competition that these two old guys are in, because that does lead into one of the best game franchises that Nintendo is currently offering.
Still offering.
So, I mean, for the 64, we had Super Smash Brothers. Now, the GameCube's out. We have Super Smash Brothers Melee. Melee introduces characters such as Roy and Marth from Fire Emblem.
Yep.
We now have Mewtwo and Jigglypuff from Pokemon. We have Mr. Game & Watch. We have Wario, Bowser.
Which it goes back to my earlier point. I just want to say this again. And again, a lot of people, again, this is the truth. The reason they know Fire Emblem is honestly not even because of Fire Emblem, is because of Melee. Roy and Marth.
I am one of those people.
Yeah, exactly. So people who are yelling at me because of Fire Emblem, like, well, how did you not know? Yeah, shut up.
Yeah.
Melee was interesting because, again, I
so
I'm not a fighter game kind of person, but I do remember my friend who was big into Melee. He explained to me how you get Mewtwo in that game. I thought that was like the wildest thing ever.
You have to play like 200 hours or something.
You had to leave the console running for 99 hours.
Yeah.
I'm like,
so the workaround for that is it counts an hour per player playing.
Right.
So you could put 4 players on and do a 999 live battle.
Right.
And it would only need to be on for 24 and a quarter hours each.
Still, it would have to be over 24 hours.
Yes.
That's still crazy. That's still crazy to me.
He's not even a good character to play.
Yeah. I'm like
he's fun, but, and I mean, granted, it's not in one time.
It's also,
you could play it 5 days in a row for 5 hours each and get the Mewtwo. But Ganon, who is actually to this day my main character.
Really?
He is. Yeah. They brought in Pichu.
Yes. Who hurts himself. I don't know why I would ever play that character.
He's adorable. He's so much faster than Pikachu. Game & Watch, I said that earlier.
I play 2 characters because, like, there are times where our mutual friend, like, him and his family, like, they play the crap out of that game, and they'd be like, oh, well, somebody's got to play, and they would, like, give me the controller, and I'm like, either I'm playing Captain Falcon and going, Falcon, punch, just as much as I can. I'm like, I'm not even trying to do anything. I'm just Falcon punching across the map,
right?
Go from left to right, and just whoever lands in my way is just getting hit, right? So our friend would always just like jump around me because he's like, if I just avoid Mike, he's just gonna cause damage. Like he's just here for chaos. So I'll use him to my advantage to attack other people so they get damaged. It's like having like you know when you're playing on Final Destination, there's no like things that come up and do damage.
Right. There's no there's level chaos.
Yeah. But I'm the level chaos.
Yeah.
So I would do that, and so he would like throw people into me as I'm Falcon punching and stuff like that. He would use me like he would use like those chaos and other levels, and then afterwards he would just like
wreck you.
Wreck me, because I don't know how to play the game. Or I played as Mr. Game & Watch, where he does the flipping
You just flip bacon.
and I just would stand on the edge and just flip.
Yep.
And so anyone who came near me just got damaged.
I used to do the same thing with Pikachu, except I would just keep using my electric shock and just keep like beep, beep, where it like bounces across the board. Right. It does like 3 damage, but it will stop any charge.
Yeah, it's fun. Like,
there's so many other games though that the GameCube offer. So we'll do a quick run and then we'll end it because this is life. This is life. Accept it.
I feel like we have to talk a little bit just on one, and that would be Donkey Kong Congo. Just because of how fun it was to play on the Congo drums that it came with.
That was the weirdest game ever.
I love that game.
We bought the game, we got the bongos, and I could not grasp how to actually do anything.
Yeah.
And I threw it away.
I like rhythm games outside of DDR just because like it's too much energy. Right?
We're not gamers because we want to exercise.
No. But that game was fun. So that's my only like little side tangent. Also, we do have to talk just quickly about Metroid Prime 2 because of like how big that game is like to the fan base for the Metroid series. Metroid Prime 2 is like revered as like I think like one of the best Metroid games. Like I remember people like freaking out because Nintendo just announced that Metroid Prime 1 and 2 just came out for the Switch. Like that the last Nintendo Direct. It's coming out today, and like everybody was like, oh my god. And again, I skipped Metroid, so I don't understand, but like we have to give it like it's
I do remember like as soon as that dropped, people are just releasing like side by side comparisons of like the,
oh my god,
the Cube versus the Switch, the graphics and everything like that.
But those are the only two that I'm like have to talk about. And our producer would probably yell at us if we don't give DoorDash. It's not DoorDash.
Mario Kart
Double Dash,
yes. Which, in my opinion, is the best Mario Kart game ever released. Better than 8, better than the original Double Dash.
I never played Double Dash.
Declaring it right now as the best Mario Kart game ever. Because you got to play as 2 characters.
Yeah, I know that. Like, there's the whole, like, button mashing mechanic to get that super dash in the beginning or something like that.
Well, hey, I mean, it's as every light goes, you hold down A for like half a second or something like that. I mean, but that's in every
it's a
Mario
split
Kart
second
game.
Between 2 and 3 on the light that you're supposed to let go.
Yeah, it's all about the finesse.
Yeah, it's the finesse.
The finesse. It's easily the best Mario Kart game ever, and I will fight anyone who wants to fight me.
Wait, one day I'll play the game and I'll understand.
Can I throw out some honorable mentions?
Yes.
Okay, so honorable mentions right off the bat. X-Men Legends 1 and 2. I cannot tell you how many times I have gotten inebriated and just played the hell out of this game because it's so fun to just play as your favorite X-Men characters, and it's RPG. It's travel around, it's level up attacks, it's good, but it's just you play as X-Men characters. So there's X-Men 1 and 2. There is the James Bond games. Agent Under Fire, Nightfire, best James Bond games outside of GoldenEye. Agent Under Fire has you can turn on low gravity, and you have zip lines, and you have jetpacks. It's fun as fuck for multiplayer.
All right.
Nightfire, you have remote control helicopters and remote control tiny tanks that can go around. Also, great as hell for multiplayer. Worth going back and playing, even in today's day and age. The graphics aren't there, but the gameplay is. And then, obviously, I have to bring it in. Dragon Ball Z Budokai.
Yep.
Dragon Ball Z Budokai is dropped on the GameCube.
You talking about Dragon Ball?
I know. I've been hurting so bad.
I know.
So bad.
I know you've been waiting.
But the Budokais are like the last of the good Dragon Ball Z games on consoles for a while. I mean,
Dragon Ball after Budokai 3, I lost interest.
I don't know. Are we wrapping up on Cube?
I think we're wrapping up on Cube.
Are we wrapping up on Cube?
Like you could say like Mega Man 1 through 10 were on the GameCube, but like they were also on the PlayStation. That's what I'm saying. It's hard for me to like talk about the GameCube outside of like the exclusives, because like a lot of the games,
the Cube is cross-platform.
Yeah, it was on the PlayStation 2 as well. So like a lot of these games I played on the 2. So I will say this: the reason why I bought the GameCube, because like we need to just touch on them, acknowledge them, and then move on. The reason why I bought the GameCube in the first place was not Wind Waker, but was Twilight Princess. Twilight Princess came out and it looked amazing.
Such a good game.
Such a good game.
Such a good game. And I'm still waiting to this day for a remake.
Yeah, you had Twilight Princess.
You got Twilight Princess. You got what else do we got? Wind Waker. We just said that.
All right.
Four Swords, which we just mentioned. And then we also have a remake.
Yes.
Which was the Ocarina of Time Master Quest.
Yes.
Which you could only get as a special edition disc. What game did it come with?
Oh, crap. I don't know what game it came with.
You had to buy another game. I cannot remember what it was, but it came with the Master Quest edition of The Legend of Zelda, which is basically the Japanese version of Ocarina of Time.
Super hard. Yeah, I mean, like, again, I joined the GameCube like late at the end of its life cycle. But I will say, like, Resident Evil 4 and Resident Evil 0, to this day, the GameCube version is the only, like, quintessential version to play that game. Because the controls were just so smooth on that controller that, like, when I eventually played it on the PS2, Resident Evil 4, it was like, so much. And the only way you could play Resident Evil 0, Resident Evil 1, not to mention, the remakes. The Resident Evil 1 remake came out for the GameCube, and it was beautiful. They actually they used that one when they did the port to the PC recently. Like I say recently, but it was like 10 years ago. But they used the remake for the GameCube version for the PC version that just came out.
That's pretty amazing.
Beautiful. Yeah,
that's pretty amazing.
Yep. But yeah, you got Resident Evil 1 because at this time Resident Evil 3 came out. So its license, Resident Evil's licensing was up with Sony, which is why we got Resident Evil 0, which was an exclusive for the GameCube, which is another reason why I bought the GameCube. So
was the GameCube also the one where we got the Final Fantasy exclusive?
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. I got to talk about that. So, Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles.
Yes. Okay, I don't know why that just popped into my head.
I think that was another reason why I bought it was because the only way you could play Crystal Chronicles was was on the GameCube.
And that had like all the tiny looking like Fraggle Rock guys, right?
It is. So Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles is not. It is, but it's not a Final Fantasy game at the same time. So, like, when you think of Final Fantasy, you think 7, 8, 9, 10. Those are the ones that people think of immediately. For, someone like me, it's like 1 through 10. There were the advanced games, which were also great, but the tactic games, not the advanced games, but there was a tactics advanced game. There were the tactics games, which were still a turn-based game, but like chess. Right, they're called tactical role playing games, and then you had Crystal Chronicles, which was completely different than those two. And I went into it with the understanding of like, I'm buying a Final Fantasy game, right? Like, yeah, dude, hell yeah, there's a Final Fantasy game that only came out for the GameCube. I'm finally getting now that I have a GameCube, I'll pick that game up. No.
Not good.
No, like there are people who do swear up and down that it's a fantastic game, and I'm inclined to believe you. Like truly I am. Like I've seen people play it, and like there is a depth to the game that does make it like fantastic. But like for the kind of RPGs that I like to play, it's not my cup of tea. It just isn't. I tried. I really did try. I think the only game that has that kind of like battle system style that I really liked, people are screaming Tales of Symphonia or just Tales games in general, was Eternal Sonata for the 360, which Microsoft, if you're listening, I don't know why you're listening in on a Nintendo podcast episode, but Microsoft, if you're listening, please release Eternal Sonata for the Xbox Series X. I will pay full price for that game. That game was fantastic.
But I think that closes our book on GameCube.
I just gotta have to close our episode on GameCube.
I mean, honestly, I don't even know if there's more we can talk about. I'm sure someone's gonna comment something.
There are definitely some games that
we're gonna
missed.
be like, oh Fuck, we forgot about that. Let's talk.
Like that one right there alone, Super Monkey Ball. We didn't talk about that one.
I don't care.
Yeah. So, anyways, thank you all for joining us again as we just nerded out about GameCube games. I'm excited for the Wii, the Wii U because I have.
Well, I'm excited for the Wii. I'm not excited for the Wii U.
I still have my Wii U.
Wii U, Wii U, Wii U, Wii U, Wii U, pew, Wii U.
Anyway. Yeah. Thank you again.
Yeah. We're out.
Yeah, we're out.
Yeah, we're out.
We're done.
That's not Pat. I'm not Mike. That's it. See you next week.
See ya.
If you like that episode, you can follow us on all of our social media, Instagram, Spotify, Facebook, or TikTok at Not Mike, Not Pat.
If that's not your cup of tea, you can also follow us on Twitter at NotMike_NotPat. Or, if you want to, we'll be doing our live streams of animes and video games at our Twitch channel at Not Mike, Not Pat as well.
You should be watching.